It's Sunday evening, July 12th, and this is a Know by Noon breaking update. A towering figure in American politics has died. Middle East peace talks take a step forward, and a powerful storm leaves a rising toll. Here's what you need to know. We begin in Washington with the death of a political heavyweight. Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina has died at the age of 71. His office said the long-serving Republican passed after a brief and sudden illness. For more than 2 decades, Graham was one of the most recognizable voices in the Senate, a leading foreign policy hawk and a close ally of President Trump. Graham was 71 years old. His office didn't disclose a specific cause, saying only that he died after a brief and sudden illness. Just 2 days earlier, on Friday, he had been in Ukraine, meeting with President Zelensky. Tributes poured in within hours. President Trump called him, in his words, a true American patriot, writing that Lindsey was always working. Ukraine's President Zelensky said America and the world had lost a determined leader, and Israel's Prime Minister called him one of its greatest friends. Graham had served in the Senate for 24 years, elected in 2002 to the seat once held by Strom Thurmond, and re-elected 3 times since. He was running for a 5th term this November. Under South Carolina law, Governor Henry McMaster will now appoint a temporary successor, with a special election to follow. Here's the rest of today's news. First, a possible turn in the Middle East. Iran's foreign minister is heading to Oman for talks focused on the Strait of Hormuz, the vital oil passage Iran shut earlier this week. Qatar, one of the mediators, says there's been positive progress in negotiations between Washington and Tehran. It's the first real sign of de-escalation since the ceasefire collapsed. Next to Israel, which now has an election date, the country will hold its Knesset election on October 27th, with the current government expected to serve out its full term, setting up months of campaigning for control of its 120-seat parliament. And third, the toll from Typhoon Bavi is climbing. The storm made landfall in eastern China after nearly 2 million people were moved to safety. As it tracked north, its death toll in the Philippines rose to at least 18. It's been one of the strongest storms the region has seen in years. So what should you watch next? The scramble for Lindsey Graham's Senate seat. Governor McMaster will name a temporary replacement in the coming days, and a special primary will follow, putting the balance of the Senate and South Carolina's 2026 race suddenly in play. And keep an eye on those talks in Oman to see whether the Strait of Hormuz reopens. And that's the breaking picture. Caught up, the loss of a Senate heavyweight, a step toward calm in the Gulf, and a storm still being measured. We'll be back tomorrow morning. This has been Know by Noon.